Have you ever been shopping for a bottle of wine and wondered before you bought it if it was going to be dry or if it was going to be sweet? Or have you ever had somebody serve you a bottle of wine and said that it was dry, yet to you, for some reason, it seemed like it was sweet? Well, in today's episode of Wine Talk, these are all things that we're going to address. So, let's check it out. Greetings all, welcome to the show that never ends. If it's your first time here, thanks for stopping in. I'm sommelier Robert Stelmachuk and I'm located here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. On today's Wine Talk, I'm going to give you some insider secrets on how to determine if a wine is sweet or dry before you snatch it off the shelf and bring it home or buy it off of a wine list. And you're going to want to stay to the end, as I mentioned, because I'm going to give you a super cool trick that's going to help you understand the relationship between acid and sweetness and honestly what it means to your mouth. So we'll start first and foremost with what everybody knows, sweetness codes, okay? The problem I have with sweetness codes are that there's no consistency on how a 3, say, is measured in Germany and how a 3 might be measured in Canada or Australia. So sweetness codes, gone. Now, there's, let's say you're buying Riesling. There is an IRF scale that people are putting on the back of labels that certainly help you get closer to the truth, okay? And that's measured through a sweet, medium sweet, all the way up to luscious. Problem is, what if you're not buying Riesling? First of all, why are you not buying Riesling? Let's talk about that. Anyways, let's say you're buying a Rosé or a Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc or really any other white grape like that. Well, the system that I use has always been the ABV, or the alcohol by volume. It's going to be on every label. So in these two examples that I had, as an example, this one, okay, that's an 11% alcohol, versus this one here, fantastic bottle also, and that's 8%. Which one's going to be sweet? This one definitely will be sweeter, and I'm about to tell you why. To do that, I'm going to give you the Coles notes first on how wine is made. It is a complex subject, doesn't need to be for this, so I'm going to keep it as simple as I can. Wine is made by yeast eating sugar in grape juice, and the end result, or the byproduct, among other things, is certainly alcohol. Now, if all the yeast eats all the sugar, you're going to land somewhere around 12% ABV, and that essentially is your magic number, okay? Now, think of this entire process, though, as, I don't know, let's make it relatable. Think of it as a party, okay? Let's say that the party goes to the morning, you go home, you had a great time. That's your 12%. That's fantastic. Now, for some particular reason, I can't imagine why, but let's just say that the cops come at 3 in the morning and break the party up early, right? So the yeast hasn't had a chance to eat all the sugar. They're going to leave some RS, or residual sugar, behind. And that's why the lower the ABV, the sweeter it's going to be. And on the flip side too, if you've ever been to one of these parties, and I'm sure you all have like me, you know, where you go on Friday night to a party and you wake up and suddenly it's Wednesday morning and you're in Mexico and there's a monkey trying to steal your wine glass. Like, what the heck? So if the party goes super long, that alcohol by volume is going to be a little bit higher, and that's going to be a drier style of wine. So 12 is your magic number. Higher, drier, lower, there's no rhyme for that. Lower will be sweeter, okay? So it's not uncommon to see wines on store shelves that might have 8, 9, 10% alcohol. Those are going to be sweeter versions. The other issue and the secret insider tip that I want to get you to help train your palate at home to understanding this, and it's super easy if you think about it, is I can't tell you how many times I've served a guest in a restaurant a bone dry wine, and their reaction and response has been, it's too sweet for me. Now, I can't fault you for saying that because you haven't trained your palate, okay? But remember, acid and sugar are both read in many similar ways by your mouth. Acid will make your mouth salivate, so will sugar. If you don't think that I'm being truthful and honest about this, take a wedge of lemon when you're at home next and suck on it. Your mouth will immediately start to salivate. But give it a couple seconds, and your mouth will stop salivating. That's your brain saying, what was that? Don't ever put that in my mouth again. Stop what you're doing. So it'll shut it down. And if you have let's say you take a nice piece of chocolate and you let that dissolve on your tongue and it's velvety and luscious and What'll happen a few seconds later is that your mouth or your brain is going to start making your mouth salivate again. And it's salivating, telling you, that was awesome. Give me more. Nom, 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 nom. And it's literally that mechanism. That's why you can't stop eating candy. So if you have at home some peanut butter and you want to take, like, say, a Granny Smith apple, which has lots of very acidic, a little bit sweet, right? You take a little wedge, put some peanut butter on there like that, and you eat it, and you nom nom nom, and you're like, that's really strange. I get suggestions of peanut butter, but I get no sweetness at all. That's because all the acid in that apple is totally slaying that sugar down. It's there, but it's underneath, and you don't get it presently. And that's basically how your mouth reads things. If this makes sense to you, if you're going to try this at home, please comment below and tell me your results. I'm dying to know. But you can train your palate like any other sommelier can and help understand that relationship between acid and sugar. And don't forget, 12 is your magic number, ABV. The higher, the drier. Just remember that. Until then, I'm Robert Stelmachuk. Thanks for watching.